I'm Lacie Lowry. Right now on News 9 at 6 o'clock, an Oklahoma National Guard plane crashes in Oklahoma City during a training session. What military officials say went wrong. It's coming up.
I'm Colby Thelen. Today marks 10 years since that horrific crash at the OSU homecoming parade, a driver plowing into the crowd. How those victims were honored at the parade last Saturday. It's coming up.
We've had several rounds of storms already in portions of Oklahoma. Some areas have had over 3 inches of rain. More on the way today. How's it looking for the big weekend? It's coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good morning. Glad you're with us here at 6 a.m. on your Friday morning. We made it to the end of the week. A lot of folks getting ready for the weekend, maybe making indoor plans.
There you go. I'm happy that today's the washout, and then we do have some possible clearing for the weekend. Did you sleep okay through all that lightning and thunder?
It started, like my alarm went off and then it was thunder and lightning.
Man.
So
and
I got to hear it.
Some folks got big hail. Let's check in with Lacey Swope. How's it looking today, Lace?
Well, we'll have rain, throughout the day. Today looks like a washout, not a washout of a weekend. We had thunderstorms, severe weather yesterday, had a tornado warning down on the Red River. A lot of these storms yesterday into the overnight were producing small hail. This storm produced a lot of hail that moved through Midwest City. Some of it was sub-severe limits. Others, well above severe limits, quarter to golf ball and even slightly larger than golf ball size hail from Choctaw over to Midwest City. Trackers were out. David and the team had you covered with that round overnight. Had a storm that fired up near Kreiner up to Dibble, lifted up into Norman. That storm has weakened. Now nothing is severe and the rain is coming right back into central Oklahoma. We've been a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a break over the past couple of hours, and this is what rain radar looks like currently. This is Next Gen Live. So dry in central Oklahoma, but look at the rain taking off all back through the west. This just fills in and becomes kind of a wall of water that is with us off and on through the rest of the day. So clear in Oklahoma City, dry in Oklahoma City, up to Edmond. The rain is now from El Reno, creeping on I'm sorry, Piedmont.
What was that?
What did you say? Piedmont. I know how to read. Don't hate me, Piedmont.
I'm putting that on
Piedmont?
YouTube.
I'm so sorry. I don't know where that came from. Okay, this is what happens. We've had severe storms. You should hear Megan and I's conversations in the Weather Center. I don't know if we're qualified to be here this morning after the lack of sleep. Piedmont, I love you. Okarche, Kingfisher, down to Union City. Showers back to Hydro in Clinton. We're tracking rain from Dover to Hennessy. Few strong storms from Perry back up to Ponca City. Thunderstorms in the northwest, not severe. Okay, there is nothing severe currently. Some pretty intense lightning, though, from Woodward to Mutual to Sealing. Might be some pea-sized hail near Mutual and a few showers down to the southwest, guys. We'll talk about where this is headed, what to expect for the rest of the day, and your complete rain timeline. It's coming up. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Lace. Your time now, 6:03. Some breaking overnight news. A house fire breaks out in Edmond, possibly caused by lightning. It happened right before 3 a.m. near 2nd Street and Midwest Boulevard. Look at the flames right here. Firefighters say the homeowners told them they believe a lightning strike caused the fire. It's still unclear exactly what sparked the flames, though. Luckily, no one was hurt. An Oklahoma National Guard plane crashes during a training session in Oklahoma City. We're told both people on board are okay. And this happened yesterday afternoon near Southeast 119th and Sooner. Officials say the crew reported engine failure and then crash landed, pulling down power lines and starting a small grass fire. Military officials say this plane is kind of a modified crop duster. Authorities are investigating the cause.
An honor walk is held for injured El Reno Police Sergeant Thomas Duran. Duran has been fighting for his life since last Friday when he was hit by a driver while on duty. The state's Fraternal Order of Police announced that Duran does intend to donate his organs. In fact, the FOP president said that as of Thursday night, Duran is still alive, but they're not sure how long he has.
He suffered a severe head and brain injury, and it appears, unfortunately and tragically at this time, that the inevitable outcome and further medical intervention will not prevent Sergeant Duran succumbing to his injuries.
So that was the update as of about 7 o'clock last night. By the way, the driver of that car, a 25-year-old, has been arrested. The El Reno FOP is continuing to accept donations to support the Duran family. Today marks 10 years since the deadly OSU homecoming parade crash. On October 24th of 2015, Adacia Chambers drove her car into a crowd, killing Marvin and Bonnie Stone, Nikita Nicole, and 2-year-old Nash Lucas. Dozens of others were injured. And last Saturday, the university honored those victims during the Sea of Orange parade. 4 horses with empty saddles walked in that parade. Meanwhile, Adacia Chambers is serving a 55-year prison sentence at the Mabel Bassett Correctional Center.
Your time now, 6:05. Need to get over to meteorologist Megan Gold. She's watching the roads for us. Hey, Megan.
Hey, good morning. We've got our crews out on the roadways ready to respond to any traffic incidents. If you were with us yesterday, we had a big crash in the westbound lanes of I-40. Never want anything like that as we go into rush hour and on a morning where we're expecting rain to move into the metro. We always see more crashes, so please keep that in mind as you hit the roadways. Extra time out the door, the morning drive, the afternoon, the evening commute, very wet and ponding on the roadways, especially this afternoon and evening, will be a big concern as we could have a few strong storms and heavy rain. Here's the Broadway extension right now here on your Friday morning. A few folks out and about, but still pretty quiet. Those of you that travel northbound from Norman, looking off to the north there from I-35 and Robinson, and then out by Tinker looks good. The roads are damp right now, not seeing any ponding because we have been dry for a couple of hours, but I'll have more on the morning drive and of course let you know if we have any incidents here in just a little bit. Guys, back to you.
The State Board of Education approves a $4 billion budget request. This is the first budget request under new State Superintendent Lyndall Fields and includes $54 million for teacher recruitment and literacy advancement programs. It passed unanimously, but the board also asked for more say, more input in the budget process as a whole moving forward.
I think it's fair for them to have questions. $5 billion flow through here, and they're ultimately responsible for that budget.
The budget request will now head over to the state capitol for lawmakers to review. The official state budget is usually completed by the end of the legislative session in May.
When it comes to football in Oklahoma, of course, it's more than just a game. It is a full experience for fans. That passion for game day is confirmed in a new study. The state of Oklahoma is the 10th best for tailgating. That's according to Vegas Insider, which took affordability, fan passion, and accessibility into consideration when making the list. The state of Texas took the top spot. Of course, they have a lot more tailgating schools that participate in this. But both OU and OSU ranked in the top 15 in best programs for tailgating. Sooners at 9, Cowboys at 15.
Man, we do it right here in Oklahoma. I tell you what, it's incredible how many people go to just tailgate. They're not even going to the game. They're staying out in the parking lot. That's how good the party is.
And if you've seen some of these tailgating setups, it's like if you have like a living room right outside of the stadium.
It's like a house in the parking lot.
Yeah, why not sit out there and enjoy it? But this weekend, at least, for the early tailgaters, those dedicated ones, Lacey, might get a little wet.
We do have the shower chances at least early tomorrow morning. Most folks get the tent set up. I love the displays. When you bring a whole rug, set up the big TV, the lazy boys, and just sit in the tent. It's my kind of tailgating right there. And there's a lot of folks that do that. We will have rain around basically starting with this morning for the next 24 hours, all the way through your Saturday morning. Then the chances taper off. We'll talk about Next Gen Live, where it's raining this morning, how it impacts your Friday. When this all moves out, it's all minutes away.
More Oklahomans are turning to food pantries in the government shutdown. Coming up, what one Norman food bank may be forced to do as demand increases.
Plus, an illegal gambling investigation leads to the arrest of an NBA player and an NBA coach. And Target says it's cutting its workforce. Your top national stories after the break.
All right, now we're sitting next to Lacey.
Yep.
First time since she said Piedmont was Poopmont. We did not mean that. We love you, Piedmont.
Number 1 in your hearts, not number 2.
There you go.
I love that you have to bring it back up.
That was our floor stretcher.
We just wanted to make sure everyone
knows. We just want to make sure that I can't just breeze through it and move on with my life.
We can't let you move on.
We've got to put an exclamation point on it because that's what true friends do.
We love you, Piedmont. Piedmont, there you go.
Yeah, today, sorry, I'm gonna have a hard time moving on. We love you, Lace. It's been a long night for you guys, especially covering the storms as they came across overnight, and it's gonna continue through the day today, really pretty much all day.
Yeah, today's a washout. We've got the rain that's moving on through. We're gonna see if we can get through this forecast, and we're gonna speak very clearly and properly and take our time. Thunderstorms in the evening, they were severe. Traffic trackers were out. David and the team had you covered. Kyle Wilson was out along with Hank and Patty Brown. Who else? Jeremy Carter was out. Brandon Pennell, Valcat. They were all out yesterday. So breaking up kind of this entire line that moved through. But that storm that hit Oklahoma City was severe, was a supercell, had a massive hook on it. If that were springtime, that would have been a tornadic storm. It was not tornadic, but it had the big hail with it. They're still laughing. Lacey, let it go. Let it go. She's not going to do it.
We were joking in her first television interview. Lacey Swope says. Okay, back on track.
Okay, back to the storms. Back to the storms. Okay, the storms are no longer severe this morning. This has all moved on out. But what do you need to know as you head out on your Friday for the kiddos that are going to school today, waiting on the bus? Rain is moving back into central Oklahoma. And as we go through the next few hours, it just fills in and becomes more widespread. Rain looks likely off and on through the day today. Make sure they got the rain boots and the umbrella. Right now, we have no lightning showing up. We'll let you know if that changes. As far as the storm and all your pictures and reports coming in, we love it. We hated to see it though from Choctaw. Man, that hail got big, shredded the trees. Thank you, Kevin, for sending that picture. Look at that. We also had some skylight pictures that were busted out, car damage. Of course, this picture from Garrett, check him out. He's like, oh, that's really cool. Hail is awesome until it hits your house or your windshield, and then it's just no fun at all. There's a picture from Clary. Thank you for sending that in. Shattered the windshield, unfortunately. So that was a damaging storm from Yukon to Oklahoma City to Choctaw down to Shawnee. 1 to 2 inches of rain. Now, the storm overnight, Megan was bringing you updates with that one from Dibble back up to Noble. 1 to 3 inches of rain with that severe storm and had up to quarter-size hail with it. So we had areas that picked up rain. Some you haven't seen rain yet. That's all going to change as it fills in today. Really the next 24 hours. That's when the bulk of our rain is going to fall. Had the big storms overnight. They were loud overnight. So if you're waking up feeling a little bit like you're a little sleep deprived, that is why. Those storms were noisy. They were rowdy as they moved through. Now, radar is just lighting up. Back to the west. Again, nothing is severe in here, but these storms in the northwest are heavy. They're intense. They got quite a bit of lightning and thunder with them. No lightning in central Oklahoma yet. That can change. A couple sprinkles taken off from Ward and Norman and Mustang back to Richland. So this will make for a soggy morning drive. Rain chances continue back into western Oklahoma, blossoming, filling in. Thunderstorm now from Perry to Fairfax. And then for folks in northwest Oklahoma, you may get some pea-sized hail out of that from Sealing to Fairview and over to Canton Lake, back over to Woodward, and then back to Arnett. Torrential rain going on there, and then some spotty showers all back through western Oklahoma. So filling in back to a 100% chance of rain this morning, and those rain chances are the highest through tomorrow morning. Then they start to taper off, and we're left with spotty chances. Still some rain around Saturday and Sunday. Dry in downtown. For now, that changes very soon. 58 degrees is the current temp, 50s and low 60s across the region. Hour by hour forecast for today from the low 60s to maybe the mid 60s for afternoon highs. We're just kind of socked in. Now you'll get into the 60s and 70s into portions of western Oklahoma. And again, a chance for more wind and hail. I think nickel dime to quarter size hail, may get a couple of golf ball size hailstones. So we've thrown that on there. 60-mile-an-hour winds also possible in some of the stronger storms today. So trackers will be out monitoring that. Your afternoon rain chance is up to 100%, and the rain again the most likely now through the evening and the overnight hours. Watch Future Next Gen. Here's 4 o'clock this afternoon. 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Heavy thunderstorms move in, they move out, and we're dealing with it all the way through the night. And then the lightning starts to come down. The storms start to wind down. 9 o'clock in the morning for your Saturday, still a little rain. But by the time we get to noon, this is lifting northward, and your afternoon spotty rain chances is all we can do. That 100% chance carries you through early in the morning. Temperatures will be in the 50s out the door tomorrow. Cool, and we stay in the 50s and 60s tomorrow with a 30% chance of afternoon rain in OKC. Higher chances up to the north. So for the big game down in Norman, OU taking on Ole Miss. Kickoff is 11. Rain chances likely for early morning tailgating and through kickoff. Then after that, those chances are tapering off, and we stay in the low 60s. Lower and mid 60s is what we're expecting for your Saturday, and we'll have a slight chance of rain Sunday. So when you add it up now through tomorrow morning and then even into the rest of your weekend, still another 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of rain in spots. Those isolated areas is where we have those heavier amounts, not widespread. Rain tapers off, guys, and look at next week. It's chilly, but beautiful for Halloween. Back to you.
All right, Lacey, thank you. 6:17 your time right now. Time to take a look at some of your top national stories this morning. Miami Heat player Terry Rozier and Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups were arrested in an FBI illegal gambling investigation. Rozier is accused of using insider information to place bets, and Billups is accused of rigging poker games alongside the mafia across the country.
Target says it's eliminating 1,800 corporate positions, including about 800 open positions. This is part of the retailer's efforts to streamline decision-making and strengthen its customer base. These cuts are less than 10% of Target's corporate workforce.
And Tesla is recalling more than 63,000 Cybertrucks due to that front light being too bright. The concern is that it could cause a distraction and increase the chance for a crash. The NHTSA says the recall issues Cybertrucks for model years 2024 and 2026.
Want to take you to some breaking news on the northwest side of Oklahoma City, an apartment fire, and this is the response right now. You're looking live at this shot from our photojournalist, Stephen Owsley. This is on Lyrewood Lane, which is basically between Rockwell and MacArthur, just south of Northwest Expressway. We've been to this area many times for apartment fires. We're trying to figure out exactly the details on this, but big fire department response over there on Lyrewood Lane. As soon as we get more details, we'll bring it to you. But again, just pulled up alongside the fire department. You can tell the boom is out right there, right? The ladder?
Is that on the, yeah, that's right, on the right side. If you're looking at the right side of your screen, just off there. So we'll continue following it. It looks like they have the fire out at least. We don't see smoke or active flames at this point.
We'll be watching that and bring you the latest here in just a moment. Now your time, 6:19. Let's get over to meteorologist Megan Gold. She's watching the roads for us and traffic. How's that looking, Megan?
It's looking good. I hate to see that apartment fire here on a Friday. We're almost to the weekend. And of course, Lacey and I are keeping an eye on the morning rain chances. If you do encounter rain on your morning drive, depending upon your location, as rain chances go up this morning, really reduce that speed, extra space between you and the car in front of you. We always have more issues out on the roads when it rains, and we don't want to see that. Into the afternoon, I think the evening commute is a messy one across the Oklahoma City metro, so please keep that in mind. Here's the Broadway extension. If you're coming into Oklahoma City from the north side, it looks great. I don't have any accidents for you. I-35 headed northbound into Oklahoma City, good to go there. And then for those of you out on the west side, looks good. I-40 and Meridian there in that shot. So from the north down to the south, all good to go. No slowdowns, no accidents. Your drive times are normal for every spot headed inbound to Oklahoma City. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
What a game. The Oklahoma City Thunder win again in double overtime, beating the Indiana Pacers 141-135.
It's the first time in NBA history that two games have started the season in double overtime. With so many players out due to injury, it was also a hard-fought win. News 9 Thunder reporter Steve McGehee has the recap from Indy.
Tuesday's game goes 3 hours and 12 minutes. This one goes a little bit longer, 3 hours and 13 minutes, as Oklahoma City finally gets past the Pacers in the second overtime, outscoring Indiana by 6 points. Career highs for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 55 points. Also career high for A.J. Mitchell with 26 points. And after the game, Shai usually gives high fives or handshakes to his teammates. Instead, it was long hugs, especially for A.J. Mitchell, with a message.
It was just, I think we had two overtimes, 2 games, so just like way to play. Thank God we got that win, and you're a pretty good basketball player. So it was cool to have that moment with him.
The first one was to AJ, just because he played so well. I was proud of him. Like, he was hurt to end the season last year. I was struggling late in the fourth and into the early overtime, and he was like carrying us, and really like took us over the edge. And I just think like I was just like overjoyed for him. And then after that, it was just like I was tired. I needed to be held up.
Oklahoma City plays tomorrow night, 6:30 in Atlanta, a game you can see right here on this channel. Who knows? It may go into double overtime. From Indianapolis, Steve McGehee, Oklahoma's own.
Shai had 55 points in that game last night.
A game it was exciting. I woke up and watched the second overtime early this morning, so it didn't feel as long to me.
Oh my gosh.
They were exhausted.
Lacey, I love what you said, that Shai was hanging on the players, hugging them like your son hugs you.
3-year-old. He was just like,
come here.
So cute, so sweet. We love the Thunder, that's for sure. So glad they pulled out that win. It was a stressful game, though, again. And now as we go through the day, we're talking more rain. We're tracking it on Next Gen Live. So as you're heading into the Oklahoma outdoors today looks wet off and on. You know, so you'll get some showers. They're spotty. This will move in and out. If kind of this fills in even more as we go through your afternoon and evening. Rain is creeping into Oklahoma County. Right now, no lightning in central Oklahoma, but we're tracking storms to the north. So rain chances today likely into the 80-100% category. Temperatures in the mid-60s, and then muzzleloader black powder opens tomorrow in the morning. That morning hunt looks wet for most. The evening sit looks mostly dry with the exception of northern Oklahoma. Sunday, a 20% chance of rain. Temps in the 60s, lows in the 50s. It looks great. Make sure you send us your pictures, your reports. Be safe. We'll talk about your statewide weekend forecast and how much rain we pick up, and your latest headlines are right after this break. Stick with us.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
And we do say good morning. We have breaking news right now. Oklahoma City firefighters are working to put out an apartment fire on Lyrewood Ln. This is in northwest Oklahoma City.
Yeah, we're familiar with this area. We've been out there before. This is near Northwest Expressway and Rockwell Avenue. Let's go to Brianna Brown. She joins us live from the scene with the latest. Brianna.
Yes, there's a very heavy fire presence here at this apartment complex. I'm going to step out of the way so you can get a better look. Now, it does look like these apartments are boarded up. All of these buildings, most of the apartments have boards on them. So we're not clear on if this is maybe an abandoned or closed apartment complex, but we're still working to get some more information on if anyone was possibly in one of these apartments when the fire broke out. Now, it looks like the fire is out right now, but crews are still actively on scene. We're working to get some more information as the extent of the fire and just how much damage there may be to these buildings. Now, EMS is also on scene, but they're just standing by. We have not seen any patients or them treating anyone, but they are still here on scene. We'll continue to get you more information as we stick around on scene. And like I said, everyone is just kind of on standby right now, but we'll keep you updated here. Live in Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown, Oklahoma's own News 9.
All right, thank you, Brianna. Again, that's Lyrewood Ln between Rockwell and MacArthur, just south of Northwest Expressway.
I know overnight we had a fire in Edmond. The homeowners there believe that was caused by lightning. Unclear on the cause of this one. Let's talk to Lacey. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Any chance lightning was in the area around that time, Lacey?
What time was it specifically?
It was probably about
15 minutes ago.
Oh, there's been a couple lightning strikes over near Mustang. We haven't had any rain or lightning in Oklahoma City in the last couple of hours, but lightning is trying to make its way back in. That is for sure. We had very intense storms through the metro, severe storms through the evening into the night. Last night, we were tracking that. Storm trackers were out. This was a big supercell near Ranlette that was tornado warned, had some blowing dust with it, had some pretty strong winds, and at times that wall cloud got pretty low. Trackers were right there. Val and Brandon were under that. We had trackers in the metro as well, tracking that supercell that moved right through Oklahoma City. Had a lot of hail damage with it. I'll show you more of those pictures coming up. Let me show you what's going on right now because those thunderstorms are developing back to the west. More rain goes all the way back out on I-40. Currently dry in OKC, but look at the rain moving in from the west up over Lake Hefner. A couple lightning strikes every now and again near Mustang and Bridge Creek, and we may see this become more electric, more lightning as it moves through over the next couple of hours, and really it just fills on in. So the rain moves in and out in waves as we go through your Friday. It's soggy up near Lamont. A thunderstorm now heading up towards Fairfax. Heavy rain, blinding rain from Fairview to Woodward back down to Arnett. Now this is all lifting off towards the northeast, moving at about 25 miles per hour. Meanwhile, the rain that you see down near Dill City and Snyder, that's all drifting eastward at about 25 miles per hour and just filling in. So rain chances going right back up after a little bit of a break here over the past couple of hours. I turned our Mathis home cam back to the southwest because there were a couple lightning strikes that you can see, but it's not continuous lightning. It's pretty sporadic. 58 is the temp, and Megan will have you updated on the roadways because the showers, they're moving back into the metro for rush hour. Temps are in the 50s and the low 60s, and your metro forecast, check it out. Plan for low 60s to mid 60s and just rain off and on through the day. Coming up in full weather, we'll break down your weekend forecast. Your weekend is not a washout, but it does look wet at least into tomorrow morning. How much rain do we see? What about severe risks? It's all minutes away. Back to you.
Lacey, thank you. Police arrest a man accused of kidnapping a woman on the southwest side of Oklahoma City. Police say that suspect, Joey Oldbear, first stole a golf cart yesterday before ditching it near Southwest 39th and May. Police say he then jumped into a woman's car, forcing her to drive him to another location. Officers later arrested Oldbear on complaints of theft and kidnapping.
A Metro woman is sharing her story of surviving domestic violence after she spent years putting her convicted abuser back in jail. Taylor Davis watched as her ex-boyfriend Vincent Givens was taken back to jail. He's accused of violating his probation on a 5-year victims protective order. Davis says she and her friend had to notify officials from the Department of Corrections that Givens was evading authorities.
We had to go through a bunch of hoops and letting his probation officer know, the court system know, he's not checking in, he's not doing everything that he needs to be doing.
Davis's protective order against Givens ends this weekend. She filed for another one, even though Givens will likely now be sent to prison. Water service is back on at an OSU dorm after a hot water line failure yesterday. It happened last night around 5 p.m. at a dorm, Allen Hall, and caused flooding in the residence hall. A professional team is now working to remove water from the affected areas. And OSU police tells News 9 2 students suffered minor injuries while evacuating yesterday.
6:35 your time right now. Let's get a check of the roadways. Meteorologist Megan Gold with the traffic report. Hey, Megan.
Hey, Colby, we do know that the roads in most of Oklahoma City right now are not wet, or they may be a little damp from the rain that we had earlier this morning, but that was several hours ago. We've been dry here for several hours now. This is our Lex Sanfield shot. He's on 235 just south of I-44. He's dry in that spot, but our western sides of our metro highways, those are wet as rain is moving back in. So please take that into account for the morning drive. We just want you to be safe and have an easy drive. Here's the Broadway extension getting busier as we roll through kind of the back half of the 6 o'clock hour here. I-35 at South 66 looking off to the north, and then I-40 in Council looking off to the west. In that spot, the rain is moving on in. I want to show you this cool product here that shows you where the roads are wet. And again, it's out on the west side. So just be safe as you hit the roads this morning. Get the windshield wipers going. Guys, back over to you.
SNAP benefits will be suspended November 1st unless the government shutdown ends, and more families are turning to food pantries, and now food pantries are struggling. News 9's Kylie Edmond spoke with one food bank in Norman that is struggling this morning. Kylie?
Yeah, just this week, Mission Norman was over capacity and had to close and lock their doors with people outside waiting for shoppers to finish shopping so they could then go inside and get food for their families. Mission Norman has been serving this community for 25 years, but they say this is the first time their shelves have been this empty. Executive Director of Mission Norman, Mike Butler, says last month they served nearly 800 families. That's about 200 more families than normal. Butler says other local food pantries are having to close their doors, resulting in more families coming to Mission Norman. With shelves going bare, Butler says they are now considering lowering item amounts for families so that enough food can go around.
As families are stocking up, they're trying to decide, am I going to pay my rent next month, or am I going to buy food? It's a dilemma. It's anxiousness, depression, all kinds of stress right now.
Butler says they've doubled their food budget and food consumption, but he says once it comes in, it immediately goes out. Mission Norman receives about 5,000 pounds of food twice a month from the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma, but Butler says they too are hurting. Reporting live at Mission Norman, Kylie Edmond, Oklahoma's own News 9.
We also know Mission Norman is currently accepting food donations, especially food that can help feed multiple families, multiple meals from those donations. They also accept money donations.
Business owners across the metro are offering to help people during the shutdown, showing that Oklahoma standard. In fact, several restaurants and bakeries, they're offering food to Oklahomans, especially federal furloughed workers and SNAP benefit recipients. The owner of Corey B. Cookin' Seafood and More says starting November 1st, he will offer free bags of food to people in need. He says it's being able to give back that is really important to him.
I felt that was very important to me because as a kid I grew up on SNAP, and I remember how hard it was for my mom to provide food for myself and my 4 siblings. So for a lot of people that's going to be hard for them to do. So I just want to be able to give back and do my part.
This is just one of many restaurants right now helping out. You can find a full list of all the restaurants over on our website, news9.com. By the way, Corey B. Cookin, that's on Northeast 23rd Street, if you're curious, if you haven't been there before.
Them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Hey, just coming into the newsroom, we have just found out that OU has canceled its homecoming parade tonight, and it's because of the weather.
Yeah, scheduled for 8 o'clock, not going to happen now. At that time, it's going to be a washout, it looks like at that point. Let's turn to Lacey. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. It's going to be a heavy time, Lacey.
It just looks like this time of morning all the way through the afternoon into the evening, the rain just picks up, becomes more widespread. We'll have some thunderstorms too, so a lot of folks kind of have to juggle their schedule. Temperatures stay in the low 60s through the morning, and guys, it looks wet through early Saturday. Now rain tapers off midday Saturday. We'll have your full weekend timeline. It's coming up right after this break.
If you're just joining us, we were just talking about OU canceling its homecoming parade tonight. There's still a few things that are happening, though. The Raw Rally is moved earlier, and they're still having the concert tonight. You can also still go look at the parade floats on Brooks Mall, but just the parade itself is canceled.
It isn't going to happen. And then for homecoming, there's so many festivities that go on in the morning. All the alumni comes onto the field. For the game tomorrow, the rain chances taper off pretty quickly after the game begins, so it does not look like a washout at all by the time we get into your Saturday afternoon. It's really now all the way through Saturday morning that the rain has just set in, and it'll likely be here through the day.
Okay, what's the latest right now?
Well, we got a few showers developing, moving into the metro. Nothing is severe, but man, did we have severe storms into the evening and even into the overnight. Storm trackers were out in full force. David Payne and the weather team will bring you the updates of quarter to golf ball size hail. That supercell had a massive hook on it as it came through Oklahoma City. Of course, it wasn't tornadic. The low-level winds were not favorable for that in the city, but trackers swarmed it just in case, because you got to watch everything in Oklahoma very closely. That's why we have such a large team of storm trackers. And you could see that hail bouncing off, and unfortunately, it did do some damage. Now, let me show you some of the videos coming in from viewers, from folks around town. Look at this video from Midwest City. This hail was very small in parts of Midwest City. You could just to the north in Choctaw, larger than golf ball size hail. Another picture here of numerous golf ball size hailstones. It was big, and it did damage to windshields, skylights, shredded the leaves off the trees. Thank you, Kevin, for sending that picture. And unfortunately, they don't make them like they used to. Look at this. That's a Ford F-250, and that is a hole in the hood. A complete hole through the hood. I mean, they do make it out of a different material nowadays, but my goodness, are you kidding me? It was some big hail. It was, and it did damage. Lots of dents there, also from Kevin. So Kevin's property just got absolutely hammered, as he said in the email. So thank you so much for sending that in. Hate to see the damage. That storm started over Yukon, moved through downtown, just north of downtown, through Choctaw to Shawnee, laid down 1 to 2 inches of rain, had more storms overnight from Dibble to Kreiner to Noble to South Norman, 1 to 3 inches of rain at the airport. 2/100 of an inch. That's it so far. But now the bulk of our rain falls from this morning. Again, until Saturday morning, it just looks wet. Some areas up to the north have picked up over 2 inches of rain. So that severe storm into the evening and overnight, that's what next gen looked like. Those storms rolled on through. Nothing is that strong this morning, but we do have a chance later today of a couple of strong to severe storms, and radar is lighting back up. So while we are dry in parts of OKC, we're seeing some showers all the way up Portland, up into Edmond, back down to Mustang. We've had a couple of lightning strikes in and around Mustang. Nothing too crazy or rowdy like what we had overnight, at least not yet. Showers from Guthrie, little lightning near Hennessy, and we're starting to get a little lightning near Bessie and Clinton. Back up to Leedy, taking you into north central Oklahoma. Few thunderstorms head back into Ponca City, and that heavy rain along 412 continues from Fairview to Orienta to Woodward. Another storm over Arnett. And look at the southwest. This area is blossoming with showers, thunderstorms, and through daylight hours, it just looks wet off and on. So there's a live look right now at the Kilpatrick Turnpike on our Lucky Star Skycam network. A couple dots on the lens there, and I had a couple lightning strikes on our Mathis home cam a bit ago. Not seeing much in the way of lightning with that cell as of right now. 50s and low 60s are the current temperatures, and get ready. We had the 70s to 80s the past couple of days. That is not showing up over the next 9 days. Highs today about like they are right now, lower mid 60s. It just looks wet and soggy for your Friday. We might make it into the mid-upper 70s, or mid-upper 60s and low 70s into portions of southwest Oklahoma, and where we get a bit warmer and more unstable, a low threat for a couple of severe storms later today. So trackers will be back out. We'll monitor western and southwestern Oklahoma for you. The big story is just going to be the water through the day. So as you make your plans, look at future next gen, because now we've got really good handle on the timing of where these storms are and where they will be into the afternoon. How wet it is. It's raining basically from northern Oklahoma down to the south, some breaks in the rain, but that continues through the afternoon. Here's tonight, 10, 11 o'clock, tomorrow morning, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, showers continue. Now 8 to 9, it's winding down along I-40, and then 11 o'clock to noon, the rain is really trying to come to an end in central Oklahoma, and it looks dry, mostly dry into the evening. Still a few spotty showers, can't rule it out, but just the continual rain will come to an end. It's a 100% now through tomorrow morning, but by tomorrow afternoon for your Saturday, the rain is lifting to the north from Alva to Ponca, 30% chance in OKC, 20% chance from Lawton to Altus down into southern Oklahoma. We may even get a few breaks in the clouds by late tomorrow before those shower chances come back off and on into Sunday. What does that mean for the game? Here's what we were talking about. Temps in the 50s and low 60s. Rain likely early in the morning, but then it tapers off as that game goes on down to 20% by the fourth quarter. Highs will be in the 50s and the 60s for your Saturday, and we still have quite a bit of water headed our way. An additional 1 to 2 to locally 3, maybe even 4 inches, depending on where these thunderstorms set up today. So we'll be watching for a flooding threat for you today. 20% chance of rain Monday, slight chance Monday and Tuesday, and look how chilly it is next week, guys. And even for Halloween, it looks perfect coming up. Back to you.
We have an update to that breaking news this morning in northwest Oklahoma City. Firefighters are at an apartment fire on Lyrewood Ln.
Yes, on the northwest side of Oklahoma City, right near Northwest Expressway in Rockwell. Our Brianna Brown just spoke with the battalion chief there. She joins us live from the scene. Brianna, what did you learn?
Yes, I just spoke with the district fire chief that's here on scene, and he told me that there are no injuries in this fire, no reported injuries, and that the fire is out. Now, I'm going to step out of the way so you can get a better look of this scene. Now, he said that this is a vacant apartment building. This is where this fire happened. They were called out to check on smoke. When they got here, they did find a fire on the roof of one of these buildings. Now, crews were able to get this fire out very quickly. He said that no one was in the building or even around the area when crews got on scene. He did say that it appeared that someone had tried to make an entryway into one of these buildings. But like I said, no one was here on scene when crews got here. Now, there is no cause. We don't know the cause just yet, but we will continue to update you as we get more information on this cause. But crews are right here packing up. He said that they are just right now looking for any possible exposure into the other buildings just to make sure that the fire is completely out. But we'll continue to update you as we get more information on that cause. But there are no injuries. No one was reported here on scene injured. We'll keep you updated here in Oklahoma City. Brianna Brown, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
All right, great job, Brianna. Your time now, 6:50. Some other headlines this morning. We now know the name of the student who was shot and killed during a fight near Star Spencer High School. Loved ones identify him as 17-year-old Sebastian Guyton. The Oklahoma County Sheriff says around 3 p.m. on Wednesday, another teen student pulled a gun during a fight and shot Guyton off campus. Sebastian was a member of a local boxing gym, and we spoke with his coach.
Very bubbly, smiling, always smiling. He always gave 100%. Loved to work out. He always wanted to give it his all. I don't believe any kid deserves to go like that. He didn't even get a chance to live his life.
The teen suspect was booked into jail on murder. Classes at Star Spencer are canceled today.
Let's turn now to Megan Gold. She's watching the roads for us this morning. Megan said so far it seems like it's been pretty quiet out there.
Pretty quiet. And I think a lot of times the rain is to blame for that. For folks that don't have to be out and about, stay home, right? If it's kind of just a soggy day as we're anticipating this rain to continue moving off to the east. So out to the west, our western highways right now, they're wet. None of this severe, no lightning with any of this. So may have a heavy downpour or two, but as the roads do get wet, we will become more concerned with the potential for crashes, hydroplaning. So really just kind of keep an eye on that and make sure that you reduce your speed if you are in the rain. Here are the wet roadways again back to the west. Not really concerned about big ponding on the roadways this morning because it is pretty light. But this afternoon, as the rain picks up and becomes heavier, that wall of water, we will be concerned with the evening commute as well. I-40 in MacArthur, it's wet in that spot. I-35 looking off to the north, good to go. No accidents to slow you down. We're going to take a quick break. We are back. Welcome back. It is 6:55 here on your Friday morning, and I want to give a special shout out to some of our viewers this morning, our young viewers. That is the 3rd grade class at Adams Elementary. I went and visited them back on Wednesday, and they are learning about weather, about seasons. Awesome. So I was able to talk about being a meteorologist here at News 9, our News 9 family, and talk to them about what they're learning, answer all their amazing questions. And this is part of Oklahoma City Public Schools down on Southwest 37th. Again, the 3rd grade class, about 50 students there at Adams Elementary. They made me all these drawings of rainbows and tornadoes and sweetest kiddos ever. So we're grateful that they watch it. They say they watch every morning.
Oh,
so.
that's awesome.
Good morning. Did you get any good questions?
So many good ones. Yeah. And it's like, okay, how do I explain this? You know?
It's amazing how Oklahomans become weather aware at a very young age.
Very young
state,
age. It's like
right?
ABC's tornado safety.
Yes, exactly.
It's important.
Hey, today we're not talking tornadoes, but we are talking rain, thunderstorms. We'll be tracking them through CBS's early show.
All right, make it a great Friday. Thanks for joining us.